Greetings, members, one and all of the Salivation Nation. Let's discuss some simple silver strategies. Let's explore. Silver does not have to be complex. The metal itself is not. However, we know that silver's uses are quite complex and wide-ranging. The versatility of silver in the marketplace is without a doubt astonishing. But buying the metal does not have to be complex. Holding it does not have to be complex. It's a matter of really common sense. We can apply the same strategies that we use to buy necessities. Things like food, groceries, fuel, and the like. We shop around. It's one of the biggest strategies that you can do with silver is shop around. Look for the best price for the same product. What you're looking at before you here is a display of several variety of different silver products, some of which are considered probably just bullion, and others are more collector pieces. Some have decreased in value over time. Others have maintained their value or gone up because of collector premiums that are tied to them. Highly desirable, perhaps some may be. Others, not so much. In the end, they're all made of the same metal, and their intrinsic worth is derived from the market value of the metal contained therein. And really, it transcends beyond the market value. It's about what silver has proven to be over the course of history. But nonetheless, we are essentially enshrined or encased or limited by the market value. That's the spot price for silver. The spot price for silver is what we base our purchases from, and there's a premium tied to that spot price. We pay a measured amount above that spot price. In this day and age, that amount is greater than it had been before the pandemic and before this inflation hit. Nonetheless, when we go to buy an ounce of silver, in whatever form that may be, we are going to be paying a premium that we're not going to recapture for the most part. Not always. There are times when we may recapture that premium to some extent, depending on the type of silver that it is. And depending on when we buy and when we sell, well, we may or may not preserve our wealth, and that is the foundation. That is the biggest selling point that silver has. I believe that silver sells itself, and the selling point is that which you buy it or sell it. And what is the price that matters the most? The price that matters the most is what you get for it when you go to sell it, not necessarily when you buy it. You feel the pain of the purchase when you buy it and pay a premium for it, but what about the joy of selling? In other words, what you get out of it when you go to liquidate this metal. If you look at it as a hedge against inflation or economic instability, more than likely you are hoping for that hedge to assert itself at the point of sale. So in other words, let's say that I buy this, what is considered to be probably a better bullion piece, and I pay $10 over spot for it. It is considered somewhat collectible, so you may recapture that premium when you go to sell it. And let's say it's $10, but let's say the price of silver drops $5. Well, you've lost $5 if you can recapture that premium. Depending on the mintage numbers and depending on the limited market that collectors have for pieces like this, you may or may not be able to recoup that cost at the time of sale. Depending on the platform that you sell it on, they may incur fees as well. Plus, you cannot discount your time. Liquidity is crucial if you want to try to get the most out of your silver at the point of sale. For many of us, myself included, we've not given a whole lot of thought about selling, at least to a degree, And some of us even understand that we may have to write off a certain loss for certain collectible pieces that are out there in the marketplace. And that is par for the course, especially for some of the more collectible pieces that you may find. But in terms of buying silver for its bullion value or as bullion, it really is simple. It's a matter of just finding the best price available above spot and riding out the wide volatility of what the market has been telling us for quite some time now. The market is volatile. Spot prices go up, spot prices go down. Premiums go up, premiums go down. And certain products cost more than other products, even as a bullion coin. Bullion coins come in different forms, but are mostly government-issued pieces that have varying premiums. A coin such as this, which is the Krugerrand, it carries a much less of a premium than, say, a United States Mint Silver Eagle. It contains a much greater premium. And so when you have a coin like this that has a premium that is really what many would say is out of control in today's market, maybe it's wise not to buy it. Maybe it's wise to kind of hold off on paying such a huge premium, especially if you're not going to be able to recapture some of that premium at the point of sale. And even as I record this video, if you were to sell a Silver Eagle, you were going to get paid a measurable amount of money above spot price, but the difference between that amount above spot that you would get for this coin compared to the amount of above spot price that you paid for this coin is quite expansive compared to the past, where someone may pay you $1 above spot, but you're paying $4 above spot for it. That difference may be $3. Whereas today they may pay $4 above spot for an Eagle, but you're paying $11 for it. It's a much greater spread. Also, inflation is something that we should take into account too when it comes to buying silver and these days, and that's something that is reflected upon those premiums. Nonetheless, you must be agile when you purchase. That is the point. The simple fact is that we must be agile as we stack. Another simple principle to consider when buying silver is that you accumulate it, is to hold on to it. If you're buying silver as bullion, it's really should be seen as an insurance policy. It should be seen as a savings account. And so savings accounts are something that you don't really dip into unless you really need to. And in fact, the silver that you accumulate, liquidating it should be something of a last resort. And what is the first resort upon necessity in case you run into an emergency? That first resort is indeed this. That's right, the almighty dollar. And of course, when we see this, many of us cringe because it is indeed a dead instrument. And by design, it loses value every year to the tune of 2%, 2 to 2.5%. Although as I record this video, we are pushing 7% loss of value on an annual basis. And we have a velocity of inflation now rising to almost 1% every 30 days, every month. But nonetheless, I believe it's wise to have the most liquid of all stores of value, and that is the dollar. Now, you may cringe when you hear the word store of value with the dollar, because I just mentioned how it loses value every 30 days at a rate of almost 1%. But make no mistake, the dollar is still utilized, it is still transacted, and it does provide just enough of a store of value that it's good to have it just in case of an emergency. Because by the time it takes to liquidate your silver in times like this, and the time involved and what have you, you very well could be saving by holding on to these, at least some measure of these Federal Reserve notes in your possession. Again, it's two forms of savings. The first form is to have some cash on hand in case of emergency, even at these inflated prices. But the second is to have a stopgap measure of silver and also gold as well. But I believe that silver does provide a way to be able to store your wealth. And of course, that wealth is going to fluctuate. And that's why you should see silver as a long-term hold. And so if you understand that principle, it's really about strategy. And strategy, it's a strategy of savings. And you have to look at silver as you would cash in that case. Cash you hold on hand. You keep it on hand so that you don't have to spend your silver. And in this case, in some cases especially, during periods of times that we have just gone through here for this year for silver, it has actually lost value. Not only did it not keep up with inflation, but over the course of the year, it has actually lost its price point. And I will kind of correct myself. It didn't lose value. We value silver beyond what the dollar measures, because value and price are two different propositions. But it has lost its price performance this year, and so would have not been a good wealth preservation tool. It just depends on how you bought it. And that leads me to the last principle here, or the last strategy, and that strategy is to be able to dollar cost average. And I'm not just talking about blindly spending an allotted budget every month on silver. I'm talking about utilizing what I refer to as intelligent dollar cost averaging, or smart dollar cost averaging, where you buy more silver when the price dips and at a good price above spot, if you can find a good deal, and less of it when the price goes up. In other words, the price increases, spot prices increase, and or premiums go crazy, well, then you can buy less of your silver then. And so that is the way to be able to deal with the pain, or have less pain of these prices falling. And more than likely, if you stack long enough, the pain of low spot prices is going to hurt much less, because not only are you not going to sell your silver, you are also going to be buying at these dips and trying to find the best deals that you can out there in times like this. So there you have it. I hope you found this video insightful. Let me know what your thoughts are below. Simple silver strategies. I'd like to extend a multitude of gratitude to you all for taking the time to watch, and encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.